but the star seeds do come through, back through time and space to check upon the physical structure, to check upon the humans that are evolving, to check upon the animal kingdom, to check upon the environment, to check upon the temperament of the religion and the politicals and the familiar status, and we do check upon all of these things, thus and more, even because we are studying, shall you say, taking cliff notes upon the history, the process of Earth, and where were we projected to go, and thus where are we now? And we say congratulations and a beautiful bravo for the Earth Angel, the Starseed, and the human that has lifted their consciousness to the next level of awareness and is actively in the process of ascending into the fifth dimension. Into the fifth dimension. Yes, and the channel is asking, fifth dimension, what is the difference between dimension and density? And we say there is a difference between dimension and density. And the difference between dimension and density is that the density is the physical aspect. And so even in the other dimensions, there is a physical aspect, and there is a physical structure, a makeup of even the lighter frequency beings, the ETs, we shall say, and so there are other densities, and within the density, so if we shall say the density of Earth, shall we say the crust of Earth, the rock, the soil of the Earth. And so with the Earth, there is a density. It is a scientific, shall we say, density. It is palpable, and thus you can touch and press upon the density. Dimensionalities are all around, and dimensionalities are stacked upon one another, and they emanate out in a cycle.
Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast, where we speak about all things related to spirituality, soul level healing, intuitive guidance, frequencies, and much more. I'm Amy Sikarskie, licensed vocational nurse, past life hypnotherapist, master intuitive energy healer, and a clairvoyant physical channel. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Spirit School Online, where we offer courses in energy therapy, free guided meditations, courses and information around learning to connect in with your spirit guides, and much more. You can find me at amysikarskie.com and offerings at spiritschoolonline.com. Hi, welcome to this episode of the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. I was looking through some of my older channeled messages and came upon this one on karma and the starseed. And wow, I forgot how much information is packed in this conversation. And so I'm so happy to share it with you today. You might consider getting something to take notes with if you're wanting to study the content or listen to it, make notes at the end, or come back. You also might find that you just enjoy the experience and feeling the energy that comes in, especially if you're a star being, you might recognize that frequency. And I want to share that I will be putting some of the information, like bullet points and key aspects, on the website. And the website is at spiritandsoulhealingpodcast.com. So I'll put the link below and you can go there also to see if you're a visual person and you want to just like kind of scan it. But I want to talk a little bit about this particular channeled message. It's one that is one of my earliest physical vocal channeled messages and one of the earliest ones where I recorded and shared it publicly. So this is called Karma, or the Starseed and Karma was the question that came through, and that was the topic. And at the beginning, I speak about my personal counsel and the counsel of light. So my personal council includes 13 members, and the 13th member is my higher self. I was regressed in a hypnotic state to a place and time before this life, and I found myself in conversation with many star beings. And as I counted them, there were 12, and these are my personal council. My personal council and myself also work with the Council of Light and assist with the Council of Light. The Council of Light is a really large collection of beings that are here to help Earth and humanity. And you might find you feel that you have a strong connection to the Council of Light as well. In that experience, I regressed my friend Connie Parker, and she saw the Council of Eight. And this was a grouping of many, many star beings that were making a figure 8 in front of her mind's eye. And later we realized it looked like the infinity symbol. Never ending, eternity, the soul is always eternal. And but we originally called it the Council of Eight. And so they all have a loving, kind heart. There's slight variations because sometimes we all work together and these councils can overlap. And in my initial experience and learning and practicing physical vocal channeling, I would tone to align my vibrational frequency within my body, my cells, my tissue, the body, and my energy with the councils. And in that vibrational frequency of sound, that is how their frequency came in. So some of my original or beginning stage channel messages I'm toning, and it's fun kind of for myself to look back because I can tell when I'm out of tune and then when I get in tune, and that's when they come in. And so when you're listening to this experience, you'll hear the toning as they are merging with my body, and we are coming together to let them use my vocal cords. And to that, I mentioned on the last episode where they came through that when they were using my vocal cords initially, I had a higher pitched voice. So let me share that in today's channeled message. Initially, the spokesperson that comes in is a member of my personal council. She feels more feminine, her voice is higher, but I just get a different frequency, like starry fairy energy from her. And then she introduces a member of the Council of Light, and you'll hear my voice, my vocal cords, they switch and it drops. Well, partway through this message, the heater came on. And so it was pretty loud. And in the back of my mind, I guess I could say, or on the side of my body, wherever I was observing, I usually step outside the body a little bit. So I remember I was like, oh gosh, it really bothered me because I knew it was going to mess up the recording. So I just kind of gave them a little, hey, and they're like, yeah. And I came out of trance or out of the channeled space and turned off the air and then went back into the message. So when I go back into the message again, you'll hear the voice change. And the difference is that in this time, it just gradually goes into the new voice and they don't really mention it or tell us about that. So I thought that was interesting looking back because when you're in the process, you're learning and you're in the process. And now having had many years since of channeling in this way, it's really interesting for me to just look at the nuances and the mechanics of the channeling. So if you are one who's interested in channeling, you might find that, a data point to just kind of be intrigued with. And if you are interested in channeling, I have, books and a class. And if you are interested in channeling, I have a book, The Ultimate Guide to Channeling, and I also teach channeling. So you could check out my website below. I want to talk now about the messages. And as we're getting into it, they do speak with a different grammar, and they use words that I don't typically use. When they say forthright, if that's a word that you're not used to or you don't want, understand the definition, Forthright means direct, without evasion, and straightforward. When they say forthright to me, it's like, okay, we're just going to come out and say it. We're going to talk now. We're going to speak. And it's more an emotional or vibrational thing of just like, boom, I feel the energy just flow into it. It's kind of like, let's go. And then they also will use the word thus, which means in this manner or to a stated degree or an extent or therefore. So that's, a couple of their words that they use that I think are normal, like they're common anyways. They're English words. They've made up words in the past. And I always thought that was so interesting. So I'm just going to review a couple of topics as we get going here. Again, I've made more extensive notes on the website, but at the beginning, they give an explanation through me where I'm talking. So it's partly my understanding, and I think it looks like I'm relay channeling at that point. But we just talk about karma in my voice and how karma connects us to different people and places and situations. And we can create cords with those places and situations that this frequency flows through on. And karma, one way to look at it is a vibration that is a programmed vibration or a vibration of dissonant energies or patterns and programs in a way, because we can program ourselves. So clearing and cleansing the karma helps to release this energy from our system, and that energy can come through in these cords through time and space. So the higher your frequency, the higher the energy you hold, which love, compassion, forgiveness, those are high vibrational frequencies. Charity is a high vibrational frequency. Joy is a high vibrational frequency. Truth, like pure truth, is a high vibrational frequency. So the higher this frequency that you hold, then the more karma and baggage and energy you release. And when they talk about starseeds, when they initially come to Earth, don't have karma. Earth is not their main platform or home. And so many starseeds, the goal is not to acquire karma. They have had a lot of experiences, so they have this moral compass, this intellectual wisdom and knowing of like a strong, deeper understanding of right and wrong. And that right and wrong is not really based on what humans say is right or wrong. It's based on the energy, the soul frequency. It's based on creating karma. It's based on soul contracts. So that's one thing that they get into. And then let's see, I'm just looking at my notes right here. Yeah, I kind of said all of that. Okay, then they talk about the common qualities and abilities that the star seeds have. So there's different star seed frequencies, and they talk about that. Like I found it interesting because I'd forgotten, but they say that some star seeds can move matter. And I think if I remember, that was like with their mind, and that they have the aspect that it just can click on really kind of with ease to use their clairvoyant and telepathic gifts. And then they talked about sun absorption and communicating with the stars. And let's see what else. I mean, there's so much on the website, so I'm just going to let you I'm just going to let you all enjoy the experience and make some notes and message me, or you can put a comment on the website in the comment section if you would like me to do an episode on any of these topics. So, without further ado, friends, I invite you to enjoy this channel message on the Starseed and Karma from the Council of Light.
Hi everybody, I'm Amy, and welcome back to part 2 of messages from the councils. I'll be channeling in some messages. So one of the questions that came through was about karma and how to release karma and to prevent the creation of karma. And karma is, any type of interaction between another person or an experience that we might have that creates dissonant energy in our field that creates cords or any vibrations that keep us connected. And so when I see it, it's like if you have cords of karma around you, then it's very hard to ascend out of the earthly, let's say the earthly heavenly realms. So there's different bands and frequencies, and the higher you get in the frequencies, from what I'm understanding from the visions that I've seen, then you release more and more from the earth life. And if you are a starseed, specifically, so I'm not too certain about earth angels, but maybe that information might come through. What happens is that we starseeds are, this isn't our first place, so it's not our origin or our first space. And so we come back through time to help or to have missions or to study. And there's all different reasons why. But particularly we're here for a cause a little bit greater than our own, even if that is just to bring our light and to bring like just high vibration joy and beauty and love to everybody. So for a lot of starseeds, they've already gone through karmic cycles on other star systems and galaxies. But what's interesting and what should be noted is that we can also get pulled into the karma of earth life. And so if that happens, it's like really important. You'll notice if, because starseeds are very sensitive in general, and when we tune in, we understand our vibrational frequencies and when anything is off. And it's really challenging for a sensitive empath and a starseed, if you have those qualities, to go through life and having experiences with others that weren't resolved. And even if it means separating, you know, at the end, like, okay, but let's just clear the energy between us. So if that energy is not cleared, or if we get pulled into, I like to call it the matrix. So if we get pulled into the earth experience really deep in, where we forget who we are and we get, you know, brainwashed and imprinted and programmed, and all of this from society and the electronics and just all the vibrations around that aren't quite our frequency or of an abundant nature. And so what we try to do is release all of that from, you know, time to time as much as possible whenever we notice something is going amiss. But one of the questions was, how do we release these karmic ties? And so there are many ways to do that, but I wanted to just go into, drop into a channel with the councils and see what information they have. So we're just going to jump in with the topic I'm asking them about, to speak a little bit more on karmic ties, on karma. They know they can hear me. They're like, okay. And then, so let's see what they say. Alrighty. So let me just drop right in. Dear friends, greetings. Welcome, and we are so blessed and happy to be here. Thank you so much, for we are the Council of Light, and we do travel thus to and fro from the star systems within the galaxies to this linear sensation, to this this interdimensional plane of existence of Earth. Tis much denser here, tis more linear in nature, and but we do enjoy from time to time dropping in. So we give thanks and gratitude to the channel, and for those of you that are here with us today. And the call has gone forward that there were some questionings, some discussion to be had regarding karmic ties. And so thus we are here, the Council of Light, which is a broad collection of many beings from many star systems and galaxies. And within this Council of Light, we do hold the Council of 13 and aspects of the Council of 8. And so if you're familiar with these councils, you will understand. Okay, and so moving on now to the question and the topic a hand of karma and karmic frequencies. So thank you, dear ones. We will pass the mic, so you might say, over and to another member of the council. One moment, please. Greetings, hello, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here and for joining in this very prosperous time, this very beautiful time on earth, and this beautiful moment for in the now, where you sit thus in this moment. We give gratitude and thanks for your time. For time is of the highest vibrational currency, and we do give gratitude and thank you so much for tuning in through the electronical devices and tuning in to the frequency and the words through the energetic sensations that you might connect in with through the pineal, through the throat, through the solar plexus, and thus very most astutely and importantly through the heart space. So thank you for tuning in through all aspects and means, dear ones. And at this time we wish to speak on karma. So there were many times long ago when the starseeds seeded the earth, and when the starseeds dropped from the other cosmic rays of consciousness to the earth floor, to the shores, to the floor. We say this, and we're showing the channel deep into the rock, the physical nature, the plains, the rock structure, the land masses, my dears. So when the starseeds dropped on land, and also when they dropped into the oceans, there were many starseeds that did drop into the oceans and take upon first an energetic embodiment, first a sensation of merging with the waters, with the nature. It's a stream of consciousness, dears, and at this aspect in time, there was no embodiment. No, there was no embodiment. But through the creation and thus the understanding and desires, there was physical structures made through source consciousness, through light energy, through direct communication and attunements with intergalactic frequencies, with sacred geometry, with the physical properties of the elements that are here upon the earth, the minerals, the substances, and yes, Metatronic frequencies, and so much more. The act of creation is multiple, my dear. It is trifold, it is bifold. There are many aspects that even go on beyond that. And so when the starseeds asked and sought forward in their truth and in their light and in their heart, thus we were interrupted, and here we shall resume again. We do understand the expressions and opportunities and the fortitudes of the earth life experience, and many things that may occur and become involved. And so thus we were briefly interrupted, but here we do return again. And so stepping back, talking about the creation. So when the star seeds created the physical mass, the physical formation of the shell of the body that they would participate upon, they thus came into the physical structure through time and space in varying aspects of time. So to and fro, some may come for moments in time, others to live partial or full life experiences, our dears. And so at this moment of emerging of the incarnational aspects and experience and frequency, a dilation we shall call it, because there was a tuning of the frequency that had to make an adjustment to merge with the physical shell. And so when this happened and the starseed took upon a life upon the earth plane, they came in many with a purpose, a direct conscious purpose, or a subconscious purpose, depending on the atmosphere, the energetic atmosphere, and what they would recall and recollect. And so when the starseeds came into the life of a hybrid human, we shall call it, for the most part. And so let's talk about now and the new starseeds that are coming in. Forthright, the starseeds that come into the new hybrid human do not come in with any earthly karmic ties, our dears. They do not come in with any karma that you would understand the term for upon the earth plane. And so they come in very, very fresh, like a newborn soul, my dears. Although they are much more advanced than a newborn soul that is inhabiting its first incarnation upon an earth, upon a star, within a physical structure. And so they come in with this beautiful and complex nature. So there are some perplexities here because they are having a very much very more advanced soul level nature, and this knowing and feeling that they should be more accustomed to, more attuned to, and find easier to move matter, speak telepathically, have clairvoyant visionary expressions and experiences, to pull in the sunlight for nutrients. Many star beings, physical vessels, do not have a digestive tract as does the human. They take upon, they breathe in prana, light source energy. There are many beings who can sit in a space and absorb the energy and breathe and live off of this frequency. And the bodies are thus very much different than the human vessel. So some of the elemental needs are not necessary, and especially when one would consider the elemental properties of Earth versus the elemental properties of other star systems. And so thus the starseed vessel is very much different than the humanoid, the human body. And so this is something that we perhaps digress slightly, but would like to bring forth that information. And so when a star being steps into the life and into the role of a human, taking upon them the human form, my dears, they come in with a clean slate, if you will. There is no karma. Their energetic frequency is thus very pure. They are receiving and collecting information. They are receiving and collecting information from around them. That they do become susceptible to the programmings, to the mass consciousness, the collective consciousness, but they have an opportunity to stay clean and clear in their karmic expressions. Now, there are some starseeds that come into a community, a country, a familiar experience that already had karmic ties to their ancestors, my dears. And when this happens, the starseeds can easily assist by identifying the issue, filling it with light, helping all parties to come to a greeting and a resolution. And this is much done, and much care can be afforded with the assistance of intergalactic councils, yes, so star children's councils and bodies, but also the earth angel councils. This would be the earth angels that oversee the earth, that are around and surrounding the earth, and then also the archangels, the principalities, many of the higher frequency beings who with their level of knowledge, with their level of light, and with their level of experience, can assist in these processes, our dears. And so we would like to say, all are equal unto the sight of God, unto the sight of conscious awareness. All are equal, all are abundant, all are loved, all are divine sparks of creation, and there is no hierarchy in that we are better than anyone, my dears. There is no hierarchy at all within the angelic frequencies, but there is an aspect, and it is at a beautiful honoring where we see that many of the angelic kingdoms and realms do they do consist of multiple bands and frequencies, and the principalities are higher thus in frequencies than the archangel realm. And so sometimes they are called upon to assist in shifting very, very stuck, very complicated karmic patterns, often that have dark forces around, darkness around, and so that's how shall we say, karmic frequencies that are tied deeply to past history of violence, rage, mass murders, death and thus and such, of the very heavy karmic expressions from the barbaric times on earth. And so the starseed can come in and help cleanse and clear the karmic tree for the family. And when they come into the physical vessel, they merge with the DNA, they merge with the expression and experience of this human body. But if they can transcend the human body and sit in the vibration of love and frequency, their soul identity and who they are, then rather than the body controlling them, they are controlling the body. And when this awareness comes to mankind, they will be able to easily transmute and raise their vibration and ascend beyond the karmic ties, my dears. And so thus many of the energetic expressions, the emotional, mental natures can easily be cleared, cleansed, and healed. But one thing that is needed often is a recollection and an awareness and understanding and an experience acquired, a lesson learned, you might say, where there is an assimilation of the experience, an assimilation of the knowledge that is brought to that's either the human form, the humanoid, the human soul being, or if you might call the earth angel being, the starseed being, whoever this has come in through the dimensions of the Earth's atmosphere, through the structure of the Earth's atmosphere, and are penetrating through the astral realm, the fourth D, the fourth dimension, into the physical reality. And so new information for the channel, that there are many aspects of soul awareness and consciousness that float around the earth, you shall say in the astral realm, in the astral plane. And here you do have many, we will say, light beings, ETs, interdimensionary soul conscious experiences and expressions. And so when a earth soul leaves the physical body, and if they do not ascend to the rightful state through the astral realm to a higher frequency, which thus you will term as a heaven, if they do not cross over completely, they may find themselves in this astral experience. And in this astral experience, many are enjoying and they are creating and they are having a go at it, shall we say, an enjoyable experience for them. And many of them feel the freedom, the elation, the joy of thus having left the physical body and being able to travel to and fro with the thought consciousness with intention. However, there are interworkings here, and thus we're getting to this information that in the astral realms, life is created, lifetimes can be created, experiences can be created, relationships can be created, and because they are still within that fourth density, within the 4D, within the astral frequency, within the astral realm, they are subject to the karmic pull, the karmic ties of the earth's frequency. It is a little more challenging thus, but it is a possibility. And so it is our strongest desire and intention that a successful mission, shall we say, would be one that a starseed determined their circumstances around their life on earth, they came in through the birth, they were or they were seated, which is another term we shall discuss now. They were not born through the birth canal. They were dropped into this experience and seated in this way. And the channel has thus recently heard about the hybrid star children. This could in turn be a part of an awareness and understanding, but we do understand the discrepancies within terminology within the field. And so we shall say that they were seated, so they were dropped and came down to the earth, not through the mother's birth canal, but the body was gestation occurred in another space upon the ship, outside of the earth plane, outside of the earth atmosphere. And there are not so many of these experiences. There are more that did come in through the birthing process of the humanoid, but there are some advanced that come in with specific purposes and missions that do come in as a drop, a seed dropped, and thus they may come in any size, any age, shape, or form of the physical body. Okay, yes, so let's continue on. So any star seed that comes into the physical dimension, it is the best joy and desire that they have an experience that is joyful, that is fruitful, that they do understand and really enjoy and have moments of bliss, beauty, abundance, and love, friendship, camaraderie, but also staying true to their nature. And if a star seed were to deviate from their soul vibrational frequency, which holds the keys and the patterns for their life purpose, if they were to deviate and fall short, fall down, descending, spiraling down into the karmic pull and ties of the earth, then it is thus very much more of a defect, we shall say. It is thus very more much of a challenge to leave the physical realm, the karmic ties of the physical realm, when their physical body has decomposed, decayed, when they have left the physical shell. And so at this period in time, there's an opportunity for the star seeds to get trapped in the karmic cycle, my dears. And within the karmic cycle, to be able to come back up to the frequencies that thus they are acquiring, to reach their council, to reach their soul family, to reach their ships that are stationed outside of the human, how shall we say, force field, outside of the earth force field, outside of this collective force field that is coming from the planet Earth, they will have to recycle back into the karmic cycle to clear the cycle, my dears. Now, there are some advanced souls, Earth as well, humans, we shall say, and we are calling them earth souls. So there are some advanced earth souls, and there are some advanced star seeds that can thus work with the karmic frequencies. Understanding is key, awareness, discretion, and acknowledgement, fortitude in working with it. So identifying and understanding the aspects of the karmic experience that is holding them earth side, that is holding them, tethering them within the atmosphere, we shall say, just as a visual for you to assimilate your mind and understand. This is a model we are sharing with you, and so they stay outside of the physical form, but yet here in the space in the astral. There are many. There's much breadth within the astral. There's a lot of fluidity, but it's thus the astral nonetheless. And so as they stay here in the astral realms, they can work to clear their karmic ties. And if they thus take accountability and travel through time and space to heal the karmic nature, when we say heal, we talk about transmutation, forgiveness, a collapsing of We show the channel a collapsing of blockages and bringing in the light. So it is a term that you shall understand, light working, energy healing, this and thus. So if they are able to clear the karma from this stopover place in the astral realm, then they thus are able to ascend and ascend higher and go back to their soul origin, if they will, the higher heavenly realms. They shall be with their families and their loved ones and all of this. So if a star seed does not release a significant portion of earth experience when they leave the physical body, it can thus pull them down. It is like well, we are saying, we're showing the channel strings, like marionette strings, puppet strings, holding them down quite a little bit. But also there is an aspect of magnetic gravitational forces here, the polarity, the yin, the yang, the light, the dark, is pulling them there. And so there are some other aspects entailed. So to keep it more brief and simplified, they will come back into the physical body to have thus another opportunity to clear the karma. So when we say this, and to create karma for yourself when you are here on a mission, this is not for the starseeds. It is not a lifetime for them to be thus learning at the level of we shall say elementary. It is not for them to be learning the lessons so much of a human. They are experiencing, they are learning and understanding the dynamics of life on earth. But for many of them, they've already thus been through the process. And so their awareness and their wisdom and their ascension abilities have already ascended to another level of maturity, we shall say. So they're able to, if they shall stay free of the karmic ties, easily pop up and out through the realms upon leaving the physical body. And thus if they get pulled within the cycle, then it will be harder, my dears. And so we hope that this explains the process and a general overview of what we are talking about. And so how do we clear the karma? First, to identify it, then to bring in light in all parties, to have a coming together of agreement, to coming together of a forgiveness and a healing, and of emanation, a frequency of love and of truth and of joy, of abundant nature. All of the highest frequencies, this can shift, this can manifest a new experience, a new reality, and a new timeline, or a new opportunity to leave the timeline of the earth and to go thus back to the star-seeded ascensions platform. We see the star seeds ascending up to the platform that sits in the cosmic rays above, way above the earth. We are saying to the channel 100 kilometers above the Earth's outermost atmospheric point. There is a stopover, a way station. It is for many like a platform, and there is coming in and going there. It is hopping to the platform and down into the earth, and then returning back up to the platform, making a connection, and then thus with the star councils, the soul vibrational experiences, tuning in thus with their guides, if you will, to help them to the next level, back to their home station. So there are many coming and goings, back and forths from star seeds, and we do this so thus we may shine our light on earth. We do this thus so that we may not be breaking any of the free will choices of mankind. So as we come in and assimilate as a human, thus we do have to go through the amnesic process to make it fair, shall we say. For if you are going to come into life as a human, then thus you shall have the human experience as much as possible. And that experience entails the forgetfulness, the wiping clean of the memories and the conscious memories, and having that amnesia settle in upon you. So this is a very in a way complex, but in a way very simple experience. And if you thus listen to the words again and perhaps write them down and take a note or two, you'll be able to more easily digest the information and understand the comings and goings and the processes involved, our dears. And so the star seeds come for many reasons, but we are coming here to help mankind, and we are coming here to check upon our creations. For as we have thus mentioned previously, many star seeds did create aspects of this world, this realm, through thought intention, through consciousness, through DNA construction and programming, through working with the Metatronic frequencies, the flower of life, Metatron's cube, all of these, the seed of life, that's all of these sacred geometrical patterns. And it is a process of working, we shall say, to give an experience to you. It is a process of working with what you would say perhaps is a hologram, and working with the hologram and building the structures, and then speaking to the structures, and then manipulating the structures, we shall say the mechanics of the structures. And then with the structure, the shell, we shall say, when the structure is thus flowing very well, then they wrap it in the coatings, you may say the DNA coatings. They wrap it in the coatings which are programmed, and they wrap it in the coatings all around the physical structure, and the physical structure takes upon the takes within it the codes, and then also the codes are assimilating and we shall say calculating, they're moving around, configuring a very advanced level of technology. It is like a scanner seeing this physical structure, and then the codes map it. They map it, and then they remember it, and then it's creating a blueprint. And so this is how a portion of how it works. And then from there is the divine spark of light, the divine spark of consciousness. And for the plant life, they hum. And the energy comes in around the plant life, and it sits upon them very gently. It's a very beautiful, welcoming and a very, very high, like and a very just if one could hear it, it would be a sound. It would be an orchestra, a choir of beautiful frequencies, welcoming, blending, emerging, and wrapping around the new life of the plants. And the animals thus are similar, but not quite so. And the human form is thus very much different. But the star seeds do come back through time and space to check upon the physical structure, to check upon the humans that are evolving, to check upon the animal kingdom, to check upon the environment, to check upon the temperament of the religion and the politicals and the familiar status, and we do check upon all of these things thus and more, even because we are studying, shall you say, taking cliff notes upon the history, the process of Earth, and where were we projected to go, and thus where are we now? And we say congratulations and a beautiful bravo for the earth angel, the star seed, and the human that has lifted their consciousness to the next level of awareness and is actively in the process of ascending into the fifth dimension. And so into the 5D, the fifth dimension. Yes, and the channel is asking, fifth dimension, what is the difference between dimension and density? And we say there is a difference between dimension and density. And the difference between dimension and density is that the density is the physical aspect. And so even in the other dimensions, there is a physical aspect, and there is a physical structure, a makeup of even the lighter frequency beings, the ETs, we shall say, and so there are other densities, and within the density, so if we shall say the density of Earth, shall we say the crust of Earth, the rock, the soil of the earth. And so with the earth, there is a density. It is a scientific, shall we say, density. It is palpable, and thus you can touch and press upon the density. Dimensionalities are all around, and the dimensionalities are stacked upon one another, and they emanate out in a cyclic, circular nature. We did that, say it, cyclic, circular nature. And it's an inside joke for those who watched a prior channeling where we stumbled upon the word. And so we are getting down we're joyful and delighted that we are getting down working more with the physical structure, working more with our partner in this channeling. Yes. So returning back, and so there is the different dimensions, and so here you are sitting upon earth. Here you are perhaps sitting within a chair. It is holding you, and you are sitting within the 3D, shall we say. And so as you are sitting here in the physical way of the density, you are also able to emanate and push and purge through the different frequencies of dimension, and able to see through timelines, through portals, able to see the different nuances, the different dimensions, ideas. So there is a difference, and we say thus, set it a bit further if you would like a more of a scientific explanation. This would be the distinction between density and dimensions, ideas. So as the Starseeds return to check upon their work that they have done on the planet Earth, many take a physical form and others do not, but we are around, and we do have with our highest hearts and intentions, love and warm wishes and joyous celebrations and elations for the job well done. And we are with you as you are continuing in your process of creating and grounding the light thus here upon the earth plane. And so we do say thank you, dear ones, dear sister, dear brother, dear children, dear child, dear loved one, of the stars and of the earth and of the seas and of everywhere. For some may reach to and seek out the star family and the star origin and wish for a time and a place beyond where they are currently, ideas. But thus we do say that within this process, and while we sympathize and expand great compassion to you, but within this experience, do not forget your mission, your light, and that's why you are here and how thus you can help those around you. Is it on a grand scale? Is it on a scale that ripples afar, starting here and rippling out, starting within the home and the community? Is it within the aspects of working with nature, with the environment, with the new technology? There are many aspects and reasonings for being here. And so as you are here, we say enjoy the experience, enjoy the show, we shall say. That's because all one must need to do is sit in the middle of Central Park and watch the passerbys, and thus fully experiencing a beautiful aspect of the life on earth, of the soul vibration of the humanoid connecting in, ideas. And so the channel is thus being disturbed, and we are telling her no worries. Tis her cat playing with the blinds, and she was concerned that they might be walking by the crystal balls to knock them over. And we're saying no, tis okay. They are playing with the blinds. The poor little kitty wants to go outside and play, but it's okay. The door is shut. That's as you see. So we do honor you, we do give gratitude and thanks, and we do welcome these channeled messages, and we do welcome the questionings. And so please do share questionings for future channelings, questionings that are broad and also direct to each individual, but the questionings that can help mankind, and that can help those here on earth, and can help the starseed to remember and assimilate, and find some peace and some structure around their awakening process. That can feel very jagged at times, as pieces of the puzzle are missing. And so we do give gratitude and thank you so much, and we shall let the channel now thus fully return to her body, because thus before, when she was disrupted, we were still with her, and we, as one should say, she was not grounded, as one could say, very much expanded in the auric frequency, and us merging with her. And so we shall give her back her body, and we do say thank you so much, beautiful beings, beautiful star beings, and beautiful earth angels, and a beautiful human. For many humans, many who identify themselves as a human, we shall say that there is much progress coming, and much joy in our perspective. And for the new human, the new humanoid, the new upgrade in genetics, the new upgrade in DNA, that's what, when the light body is activated in conjunction, then these possibilities will occur when the time capsule, we shall say, when the timeline is ready, there shall be new possibilities for the human body. And so one might go into the aspect of the clair gifts and the 5 extrasensory perceptions and the strengthenings of these, my dears. So, but thus we do digress. So, greetings, thank you so much. With the warm welcomes, we do say until next time, and bid you farewell. Just getting back in, and these lights are so bright. Oh my goodness, they're so bright. So, okay, let me adjust my eyes. Oh, I don't even know if I can. Hold on. Okay. All right, just barely. So, thank you so much for joining, and I can't wait to listen back, because I really felt like I was just kind of dreaming through some of it. And you know when you daydream and somebody's talking to you, and then you're like, what did you say? Yeah, that's kind of how it was at some point. So it's like, what did they say? So I can't wait to listen back, and thank you everybody for joining and for the questions on karma. And I always love how they typically will expand. It happens so much when I'm channeling through automatic writing as well.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so I just enjoyed this channeled message replay with you, and I have so many thoughts. There was so much information in there. I definitely feel like I want to expand on some of the topics. So, potentially in the upcoming episodes, I'll be speaking a little bit slower and more in depth on some of the topics that they shared. I did find it interesting when I was toning, and still as I'm looking back at just like the channeling process, I was kind of wondering what notes were coming through. And so I have an app on my phone and I just thought I would share with you. So for the toning, they began with the note of A. And I say they because if I can recall correctly, like as I was working on starting to channel with them and they would come into my aura, then I would start to let their energy come through and use the vocal cord with me. So it was like both of us there working in tandem. So I guess it would be me and the council. So as I was working with the toning, it came through first with the note of A and A flat, which is the third eye chakra, the brow chakra. And then it dropped down to the solar plexus, which is a E flat, and it bounced up to D, so sacral, back to solar plexus, and then completing at the crown, and then they came in. And the crown is B. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. And I was also interested, like I mentioned, in some of those topics. So I would say if you have any of those topics that are your favorite, if you could message me through the website, underneath at the very bottom, there's like a comment section for this episode, or you can email me at spiritandsoulhealingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can message me through direct message on Instagram at Spirit and Soul Healing it's Spirit and Soul Healing .podcast on Instagram. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope that some of that information answered a lot of questions, maybe questions you didn't know you had. That's what happened for myself. And I hope that it brings you encouragement, support, peace, and comfort. And I will see you all again really, really soon, coming up on the next episode here at the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast.